15 years ago, God gave me a direction to reduce crime in corporate America for personal reasons. The way to do that, he said, was very clearly just to prove that he exists. Now, there are 14 verses in the Holy Bible that tells us that there are patterns in the Holy Bible and that we have to search them out. And these 14 verses prove that God wrote the Bible. Well, if we get this information to the world, to agnostics particularly, this will save a lot of souls, will significantly reduce crime in corporate America. Well, God gave me 15 years to find all these patterns, and then they're not only in the Bible, which we'll go over in the coming days, they're in nature as well. And over the last couple of days, we've gone over DNA. Well, I'd like to spend one more day going over DNA. Now, in this case, if you take the half the difference of God's prime pairs, it's 18. Well, if you look at the electrons in the 20 amino acids in DNA, 18 shows up a lot. And let me just read it. If you take the adjacent subsets of the number of electrons in the 20 amino acids in DNA ordered by size, 30 out of the 210, 1/7, 7 is for divine perfection, 30 is for Trinity times 10 commandments. 30 are evenly divisible by 18. Only 11 should be. Now, if you just do the math, K, N, and T, the probability of this occurring by chance is about 1 in 30,000. This DNA evidence rules out any alternate theory, and you can read about alternate theory on my website. Now, let me just go over what I'm talking about. There's 20 amino acids. The one with the least number of electrons is glycine, and I'll go over this one in detail, just so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, there's 40 electrons in glycine. The formula is C2H5NO2. Well, what does that mean? Well, there's 2 carbons, and there's 6 atoms in a carbon, so that's 6 times 2, that's 12 electrons of carbon. There's 5 hydrogen times 1 electron per hydrogen, that's 5. There's 7 electrons in nitrogen, and there's 1 nitrogen. 8 electrons in oxygen, there's 2 oxygen. There's no sulfur, which has 16. Okay, that's 12 plus 5 plus 7 plus 16. That's 40 electrons. Now, if you go from the beginning to end in order of the number of electrons, let me just read them. Glycine, alanine, serine, lysine, proline, cysteine, threonine, valine, asparagine, aspartic acid, isoleucine, glutamic acid, glutamine, lysine, methionine, histine, phenylalanine, arginine, ricin, tryptophan. And the number of electrons for that same order is 40, 48, 56, 62, 62, 64, 64, 64, 70, 70, 72, 78, 78, 80, 80, 82, 88, 94, 96, and 108. Okay, now, if you go to this website, thebibleandthebible.com/amino18.php, you'll see all this information. Well, if you look down on the bottom of that web page, it'll show you all the adjacent number of electrons, and that's what we're talking about. We're looking at all the adjacent ones. You start with 1, 1, 2, all the way to 1 through 20, and then 2, 2, 3, and so forth. Okay, the third one, 40 plus 48 plus 56, is divisible by 18, for example. The 7th one is divisible by 18, and so on. There's 30 of them listed here, all the way down to the last one, which is 108, is evenly divisible by 18.